Hello, hello, beautiful members, beautiful souls of this community. Welcome to today's video. As you may have seen on the live title, I am going to be talking about my Spruce Tip Syrup. I have a previous video that I made when I first started this process in the spring, probably about 6 months ago already. Close to that, maybe. Yeah, 4 or 5 months ago. I think it was May, June when I did it. So if you'd like to see the beginning processes of it, you can take a look on the video. It's definitely in here, or also if you're on my YouTube page, you can take a look and search the videos in there as well. If you are watching this, please please say hello. Let me know where you're viewing from. I love to know where people are coming in from around the world. You can also type in #live. It helps other people know that I'm here, and #replay if you're watching this on a replay. Again, if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments below. I'll get back to them later, or if I see them when they're coming up, or also you can message me privately as well. So, Spruce Tip Syrup. In the springtime is when you need to start this process, and it's taking the tips from the spruce tree, or also fir trees are okay as well. It's something I've heard about for many years already, but I finally got to do it this spring. So I collected the spruce tips. Like I say, I have another video on it if you want to look on that. Now we're get to the end of the process. So I had it in jars like this sitting in my countertop. I had layers of the spruce tips and brown sugar, spruce tips, brown sugar, spruce tips, brown sugar. Pretty much not really measuring anything, just really putting those measurements, putting the layers in there. And then I let it sit on my windowsill for basically the last 5 months. And the idea is that it will, the brown sugar starts to slowly turn into a syrup, infusing with this spruce tips. And the purpose, or the reason why we would want to have this, is because it's a really, when we make it into a syrup, it's a really good natural cough syrup. And it helps us with a lot of vitamin C, which we all need throughout the winter months as well. And you can use this syrup on pancakes, for example, or any other things that you wanted. But you can also just use it medicinally as cough syrup. Okay, so that's why you'd want to have this on hand. Now, as you can see, I have this jar that still has some brown sugar in it, and I cannot get it out. So this was a really interesting experience for me. I'm gonna have to end up throwing this jar out because I just cannot manage to scrape the rest of this out with, probably, if I did, I would break the actual glass. So I'm just gonna have to throw this out. But yeah, interesting. I believe if anybody's on watching this video and has advice for me, I'm willing to take advice, no problem. My conclusion is that I didn't have enough moisture. I didn't have enough spruce tips. So there wasn't enough moisture from the spruce tips to help create the syrup naturally. So therefore I have this solid, rock hard brown sugar infused with spruce tips that I can't do nothing with at the moment. What sugar? Brown sugar? Yes, brown sugar or coconut sugar could work as well. If I had an abundance of coconut sugar, I would definitely use that. I don't have it here. I'm in Northern Europe, so it's not really accessible or not at a good price. But I use brown sugar. But absolutely, I would use brown sugar if I sorry, coconut sugar if I had access to that. So is what I decided to do, because I had two jars actually. I had one with fir tips and one with spruce tips. The spruce tips um, was becoming more syrupy and was looking good, but there was still a lot of brown sugar in there that you could visibly see. So I decided that I was going to basically cook it down. I didn't want to be standing on my stovetop stirring for hours and hours, because that can take a long time to do that. And you have to make sure that it doesn't boil, and you also don't want it to solidify, right? So thankfully, I have a beautiful Thermomix over here. So I was using that. I decided to use this machine. So this little blending cooking machine, of cooking kitchen appliance, has many things that it can do. One of them is slow cooking, and regulating the temperature. So I put as much as I could of the mixture I got out of both jars. I put everything inside here, and then I put it on a low heat, and I put it on slow cooking. I actually had it first, 70 degrees Celsius, not warm enough. I moved it up 80. Ended up, in the end, I put it up to 95 degrees. That was the hottest I could go on a slow cooking setting. And I ended up having to do it for approximately probably about 30 hours. Really crazy, right? Now I did end up getting a kind of like a syrup. Now this is thick. This is really thick. That's where I think that I probably could have used more spruce tips, I wouldn't say less sugar, but just packing more spruce tips in. I think, like I say, that would have infused it with more of the moisture and more of the spruce flavor as well. It is a sprucey. I say spruce. How do we know what spruce tastes like, right? Like a Christmas tree, but it's like this almost a citrusy, piney kind of taste. Similarly, like when you really can smell that fresh, almost the sap smell from the pine tree, something like this. And if you've never smelt it, then you just have to try to experience that. So yes, now I did melt this down. I had to add water, a little bit hot water a few times because again, I felt like I wasn't getting the results I wanted. When I was using my Thermomix, I also had, I didn't seal the lid. So I put just like there is a lid that goes on here and I put this basket on the top. So there's a little bit of a hole in air and was able to come out. I believe that was also not helping the process because it was allowing too much cooling to come in. So I let it go like all one day and then I put it overnight. And then the next morning I had it going again a little bit. And then I realized, like I said, I thought it's still not melting down. It's still not going down enough. So I decided to seal the lid. And that was about 3 hours later than I got the liquid that I have here now. So, you know, we're always experimenting and finding different ways. I was very close to like throwing everything in the garbage. If that lid wasn't going to, sealing it off wasn't going to be the solution for me, I was, even at that, before I got the lid idea, I was like, I'm just going to throw everything out. Like, get rid of this. I can't be bothered. And then I thought, wait, you've done a lot of work already. Let's try a little bit harder, or let's think of another idea. Sealed it off. And like I say, then I was able to get this thick syrup. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to use this all for besides actually cough syrup if I do feel that I need it. Although I might just play around with it and sometimes maybe add it into a couple things instead of maple syrup. Excuse me, or instead of other syrups that recipes might call for, I might just use this and just see how things go and kind of play with that. It's very thick. As you can see, it doesn't move very much when I'm moving the jar, but it's not solid. It is moving there. Yeah, so that's the Spruce Tip cough syrup now that I have in my house. I don't know the actual like quantity to tell you how much you would take of it in order to get your cough better, because like I say, I think it's an experiment for me. I'm just working and playing around in the kitchen and I like enjoying doing these different things with natural stuff that's available to us. Yeah, so if you really want to do some more research, like I say, you can look at the video that I first posted and you can also search online. There's all kinds of recipes out there available. But yeah, that was my Spruce Tip experience. I wanted to share that with you because I had, like I say, did in the video earlier on. So I hope this video finds you well. I wish you all the best. And if now you think, well, great, she's sharing the Spruce Tip recipe with me now and it's, you know, becoming the end of, I can't harvest them now. It's winter time, for example, if that's where you're living, but you can think about it for next spring. That's why we do these types of things. They get kind of, we plant the seeds and we start to do different things. And when we're ready, we can do it. So yeah, hopefully the seed is planted for you to be able to do some more natural home remedies for you and your family. And yes, I'm looking forward to hearing from you and answering any questions that you may have. You can contact me directly at Lori Voss Furukawa, tcm@gmail.com. Also, you're welcome to message me on Facebook or comment below. Take care and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.